Good, mo Good morning, everybody. My name is Marla Wilkes. I'm an Educational Program Specialist for eCampus. This morning, we're going to go over course outcome learning assessments. Okay, we'll start with the basics. Course outcome learning assessment is commonly referred to as COLAs, basically just because course outcome learning assessment is a mouthful. Basically, we expect that students will learn certain things in certain courses, and this is one way that we track learning is by assessing a course-specific objective. Some courses will have one specific objective, such as philosophy. Others will have many. Depending on where the course is in the revision cycle, the outcomes might look a little bit different than what you see in your syllabus. So why do we do this? Outcome assessment is important for several reasons. We track and report COLA data and use that data in the course revision process. And in addition, eCore affiliate institutions look at this data to track student performance for their own assessment efforts. Okay, this right here is just to illustrate that this is a good thing. By tracking this information, we hope that we can improve our course outcomes. So how do we assess our learning outcomes? We can do it in many ways. Some of them are discussions, tests, papers, lab assignments. Your course may utilize more than one different type of assessment, depending on how many objectives you have. Okay, so for example, English 1101 measures outcome number 1 with a writing assignment. Geology, on the other hand, measures outcome number 2 with a lab and a quiz. So if your course has more than one assessment, choose the assessment that you find the most appropriate to report. You don't have to do both and average it. Just choose one or the other, and you'll put that information into the survey that we'll talk about in just a minute. So we do this once a year, every fall. So in the spring, summer, you don't have to worry about it, but you do have to do this in the fall. It's set forth by your Memorandum of Understanding that you sign once a year. And pretty soon, I'll send out the link to the survey and the COLA list. It'll be emailed to you. A link to the COLA list will also be within the survey, so in case you don't have it with you, you'll be able to link out to it. It'll pop up in a new window, and you'll be able to see that and reference it. It shouldn't take but a few minutes of your time. So general instructions, start by looking at the assessment list and finding your course, then report the number of students that fall within each category. This is an important point. We are only interested in students who attempted the assignments. If you count students as did not meet when they are really in the did not attempt category, it really messes with the data. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. This is what the survey is going to look like. It's going to be in Qualtrics instead of SurveyMonkey this year. And here up at the top, you will see where the link to the list will be. So there's a couple different ways that you can find the data that you need. Here's just a screenshot of your gradebook. You start by navigating to your gradebook, and when you're there, you can sort on the assessment item and easily count each color-coded category. So this is just to illustrate counting the attempts. You can configure your gradebook with different settings, so make sure you understand how your gradebook's set up. Count zeros as not met only if the student earned a 0. Do not count zeros if the student did not attempt the assignment. So you can see here where it has the little talking bubble that they did attempt it, it just wasn't graded. You'll know more about your gradebooks than I do. Okay. So here's a way to get to this. There are different ways that you can find the data that you need. You can find in the class statistics, in the user statistics, or in the gradebook like we just were. You can choose the statistics from the drop-down menu to get to where you need to go. If you teach statistics and math 1401, it's a bit different. It uses specific test questions for each of the 9 outcomes. So you'll have to drill down a little bit more to the question level statistics for those numbers. Again, just to re-emphasize the zeros because it's really very important. Count zeros as not met if the student earned a 0. Do not count zeros if the student did not attempt the assignment. Do not count zeros if you did not grade the student's attempt at the assignment. And just a few more reminders. You'll complete the survey for each section that you teach during fall semester, full short session 1, short session 2. You'll do, if you teach more than once, you'll do more than one survey. And then again, going over the zeros, make sure you know what those zeros mean in your grade book. They can mean very different things. If you have any questions about that, how to interpret it, you can always email me, email Christy. She'll be glad to help you. But it should be pretty clear if you know what your zeros mean. So that's basically it. Just be on the lookout for the survey link. Again, it'll be in Qualtrics. It's going to be a lot simpler this year because we're not reporting by core area, so everybody will get the same link. You won't have to look through and find the link to core area A, core area B. It's one survey. Everybody's will look the same. If you have any questions while you're doing it, you can call or email me, or Curriculum and Instruction will be glad to help you as well. So that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Okay, again, we're here to help you. Just make sure, keep out on the lookout for an email for the COLA survey, and thank you for attending.